So let's begin by taking a comfortable sitting position. So ensuring that you can be sitting in a chair or sitting cross-legged, whatever's most comfortable for you, making sure that your base is steady and that your spine is straight and that your head and neck are in line with your spine. Check in with your shoulders, ensure that they're back and down, opening up the chest, but relaxed. And release all the muscles in the face. And place your hands on your knees in a mudra of your choice. And take a long, deep inhalation, big yogic breath in. And as you release it, release all the events of the day. And take another long, deep inhalation. And this time, when you exhale, release all the interactions that you've had today, whether they've been in person, on the phone, or in a digital space. Just let them all go. And again, another long, deep inhalation. And this time, when you exhale, release any thoughts or feelings of obligation of anything that you need to do after this class. And just allow yourself to be right here in this moment. There's nothing else you need to do at this point in time. So give yourself the gift of this moment. And returning now just to the natural breath. And observe how the natural breath moves through the nostrils and then moves from the throat down to the navel. And then from the navel to the throat. And follow the breath so that on the inhalation, you follow the breath as it goes from the navel to the throat on the inhalation, and then from the throat to the navel on the exhalation. Just moving the awareness in that way. And now visualize that pathway like a golden thread. Again, so on the inhalation, the golden thread will run from the navel to the throat. And then on the exhalation, the golden thread will run from the throat to the navel. Just following along with the natural breath. And we'll now add a mantra mentally to the breath. On the inhalation, mentally repeat the mantra so. And on the exhalation, repeat the mantra hum. So that you now have 3 components to the breath. You are following the pathway. You have the golden thread and the mantra, so hum. And so hum is believed to be the natural mantra of the breath. If you listen closely, the inhalation has a slightly different tone to the exhalation. And so hum means I am this consciousness. And now release the mantra and release the golden thread. And release the breath awareness. And move the awareness to the heart space. And observe the complete stillness. And allow the breath to deepen a little. And move the awareness now up to the eyebrow center. And at this point, visualize a steady candle flame. And together now, we'll chant Om and Om Shanti. And I'll chant the Shanti mantra to pay respect to the wisdom traditions and respect between teacher and student and teacher, so that we can all learn together without ill will. Breathing in now for Om chanting. Om. 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 Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hari Om. Om Sahana Bhavatu, Sahano Bhunaktu, Sahaviryam Karavavahe, Tejasvinadvadhitamastu, Ma Vidvishavahe. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hari Om. And now, keeping the eyes closed or downcast, very gently and consciously move into Shavasana, lying down with your head in this direction if you can. And just allowing the body to release into the floor, making sure that the legs are about hip width apart and any tension in the legs and the feet are released. The arms are a little bit away from the body with the palms facing up, and that there's balance between the left and the right, and that your head and neck are also in alignment. And take a long, deep inhalation, big yogic breath in. And as you exhale, release the body into the floor. And our class today will just have a few very gentle movements. And we'll also complete some pranayama practice in Shavasana and then move again very gently into a Yoga Nidra. So the aim of this class is to help the body to preserve energy and rejuvenate, and also feel cooler if you're in a warm climate. So we'll begin with a spinal twist. So bringing the feet flat on the floor in front of the buttocks and placing the hands either behind the head if your elbows can easily reach the floor. If that's not comfortable for you, you can put your arms out at shoulder height. Inhale, and as you exhale, with the knees together, move them to the right, and you can turn the head to the left if that's comfortable. If not, just leave the head in the center and allow the body to ease into the position. And then inhale, bringing the knees to center and the head to center. Exhale, bring the knees to the left and turn the head to the right. Complete another 4 rounds in this way. And when you've completed your 5 rounds, leave the feet flat on the floor in front of the buttocks. And then wrap the arms around the knees, bring the knees to the chest. Wrap the arms around the knees. Inhale, and then exhale. After you exhale, bring the nose towards the knees and hold for a few moments before gently inhaling and moving the head back to the floor. Complete another 4 rounds, trying to hold the final round a little bit longer than the others. When you've finished your final round again in your own time, bring the feet again flat on the floor in front of the buttocks. And this time, bring the soles of the feet together, opening the knees towards the floor. Bring the hands together in front of the body in prayer position. And then bring the arms up above the head in prayer position, stretching out through the upper body, as well as allowing the knees to fall towards the floor. And then inhale and bring the palms back together in front of the chest and the knees together. This is one round. Complete another 4 rounds, really stretching up through the torso and through the hips. And when you finish your 5th round again, taking your time, lie in Shavasana. Just observe the effects of the practices so far through the spine, the abdomen, the hips, and the arms. And our next practice will be a bridge. So again, bringing the feet flat on the floor in front of the buttocks again, and placing the palms underneath the buttocks. Then inhale and lift the buttocks up to where it is comfortable for you. Hold for a few moments and then exhale and gently bring the buttocks back to the floor. Complete 4 rounds, taking your own time and working within your own range of movement. And after your final round again, just taking your own time, bring the knees to the chest, hug the arms around the knees and roll your back. So give your back a bit of a massage. You may want to go from side to side or in circles or along the spine, whatever works for you. So just gently give your back a massage. And then when it's right for you, lie back down in Shavasana. And observing now the natural breath, allowing the breath to regulate. And our pranayama practice will be like a visualization where I'd like you to complete a yogic breath, but visualize that you're actually breathing cooling air from the soles of your feet right up to the top of your head. And visualize the breath as it moves through the body from the soles of the feet and cooling the body down as it goes right up to the top of the head on the inhalation. And then on the exhalation, it goes down the body again. Right down, out through the soles of the feet. And it's a slow, measured, smooth breath up through the soles of the feet, right up through the body to the top of the head. And then a long, even exhalation from the top of the head, gently through the body, back out through the soles of the feet. And complete one more round of this pranayama, and then come back to the natural breath. And now prepare for the practice of Yoga Nidra, and make sure that you are warm enough or cool enough, depending on where you are, and that you are comfortable. You may need to grab a cushion to put under the knees or under the head, whatever you feel that you need, just to ensure that you'll be comfortable throughout the practice. If you do need to move throughout the practice, that's okay, but do so very gently and mindfully. And just ensuring that there's balance between the right side of the body and the left side of the body. And you may like to tuck your chin in just a little to ensure that your head and neck are aligned with the spine. And take a long, deep inhalation. And as you exhale, release any remaining tension in the body. And again, another long, deep inhalation. And this time when you exhale, release any expression in the face. Check that you're not clenching your jaw, or you're not clenching the muscles behind the eyes. Just let it all go. And feel the body's contact with the floor. Feel the heels against the floor and the back of the legs against the floor. Feel the buttocks against the floor and the back against the floor. Observe the backs of the hands and the arms and the shoulders against the floor, and the back of the neck and the head against the floor. And observe how all of these different points of contact make one singular point of contact between the body and the floor. And become aware now of sounds. So listen for sounds way off in the distance, but don't try to name the sounds in any way or identify the sounds. Just move your awareness from one sound to the next as you hear it. And now listen for sounds just outside the room that you're in. Again, just moving the awareness from sound to sound. And move the awareness now to sounds inside the room that you are in. And now move the awareness to sounds inside the body, beginning with the sound and the sensation of the heartbeat. And now listen to the sound and feel the sensation of the natural breath. Release the sound awareness now and call to mind your Sankalpa or positive intention if you have one. Mentally repeat it 3 times now. And if you don't have a Sankalpa, leave some space because it can emerge on its own. We'll now rotate the awareness around the body. Listen to my instructions, and as I name a body part, place your awareness there. Mentally repeat the name of that part and visualize that body part. We'll begin with the right side of the body with the right hand thumb. First finger, second, third, and little finger. Palm of the right hand, back of the right hand, the wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, right side of the chest, the right waist, hip, thigh, knee, shin, calf, heel, ankle, sole of the right foot, top of the right foot, right big toe, second toe, third, fourth, and little toe. And moving now over to the left side of the body with the left hand thumb, first finger, second, third, and little finger, palm of the left hand, back of the left hand, wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, left armpit, left side of the chest, left waist, hip, thigh, knee, shin, calf, heel, sole of the left foot, top of the left foot, left big toe, second toe, third, fourth, and little toe. And we'll move now to the back of the body, beginning with the heels, the back of the legs, the buttocks, the small of the back, the middle of the back, the shoulder blades, the space between the shoulder blades, the back of the neck, and the entire spinal column, the back of the head, and the crown of the head. And moving now to the face, beginning with the forehead, the temples, the eyebrows, and the eyebrow center, the ears, the eyes, the nose, the mouth, the jaw, chin, the throat, the collarbones, and the pit of the throat, the right side of the chest, the left side of the chest, the center of the chest, the right side of the abdomen, the left side of the abdomen, and the navel, the right side of the pelvis, the left side of the pelvis, and the groin, the whole right leg, the whole left leg, and both legs together, the whole right arm, the whole left arm, and both arms together, the whole torso, the whole neck, the whole head, the whole front of the body, the whole back of the body, and the whole body. Have a sense now, all at once, the whole body. And release the body rotations and bring the awareness back now to the natural breath. And observe just how subtle the natural breath has now become. And observe the rise and fall of the navel in response to the natural breath. And we'll now add a visualization to the natural breath. On the inhalation, visualize cooling, soothing light. And on the exhalation, release any discomfort or anything that does not serve you. Just following along with the natural breath, inhaling soothing, cooling light, exhaling discomfort, or anything that you need to release. And if the mind wanders as it can, use the breath like an anchor to bring it back to the practice. And release the breath visualization now. And instead feel the following opposite sensations in the body. The body's feeling heavier and heavier. The body feels so heavy, like it's made out of concrete and it's pressing against the floor. The body feels so heavy, it feels like it may even fall through the floor. The body's feeling heavier and heavier, like it's made out of concrete and it's pressing against the floor. Release the feeling of heaviness now and replace it instead with a feeling of lightness. The body's feeling lighter and lighter, so light in fact that it feels like it's barely touching the floor. It feels as light as a feather or as light as a cloud drifting along in the sky. The body's feeling lighter and lighter, like it's barely touching the floor. Release this feeling of lightness now and exchange it instead with a feeling of heat. The body's feeling hotter and hotter. The body feels like it's outside on a sweltering summer's day in full sun and humid heat. Heat radiates from the abdomen throughout the body, and the feet and the hands feel clammy, and the cheeks on the face burn. The body's feeling hotter and hotter, like it's outside on a sweltering summer's day. Release this feeling of heat now and replace it instead with a feeling of fullness. The body's feeling colder and colder. The body feels like it's outside in the snow on a freezing winter's day, and the icy wind whips through and chills you, makes you shiver. The face feels numb and the fingers and toes feel numb with the cold. The body's feeling colder and colder, like it's outside in the snow on a freezing winter's day. Release this feeling of coldness now. Allow the body to come back to a state of equilibrium. Release all of these sensations completely. And instead, come to the space of the mind, the space behind the closed eyes. And in this space, see, imagine, visualize, and create the following objects and images. You are walking in a beautiful forest. It's lush and green, and it's a very warm day. And you see the sun filtered by the trees coming through so that it creates little circles of light, dappled light on the forest floor. And you're wearing bare feet and you feel the warmth of the earth beneath your feet. You haven't been here before, so you're just exploring and observing and enjoying the beautiful sights around you. It smells that sort of fresh smell of leaves in the bush. You can smell it in the air. And as you keep walking along the path, you see ahead of you is a beautiful waterfall. And there's no one around, and there's only you there. But you can see this almost crystal water flowing from the rocks at the top, splashing down into a beautiful pool beneath. And because it is quite a warm day, decide to jump in to the cool water hole and go underneath the water, and you feel instantly refreshed. You swim over now to where the waterfall is meeting the pool of water, and it's not too heavy, so it actually feels really refreshing. So you sit underneath the waterfall. It's like a cool shower, and it feels wonderful. You float now away from that, and you're lying on your back, gazing up at the beautiful view of the blue sky and the sun filtering through the trees above you, and you feel pure joy and connection with nature. You feel light and calm and peaceful inside. But you know, even though you wish you could stay here for much longer, it's now time to come back into the room, coming back to lie back on your mat. But that doesn't mean you have to leave that feeling of peace and joy behind you. You bring that with you back into the room. And now that you're back and settled on your mat, you call to mind your Sankalpa, positive intention, if you have it. And if you have one, mentally repeat it 3 times now. And if you don't have one, leave some space in case it emerges on its own. And now allow the breath to deepen in the body. And observe how, when the breath deepens, observe the movement that it creates in the body. Observe how it moves the back against the floor on the inhalation. It's time to gently externalize as the practice of Yoga Nidra is coming to a close. So allow the breath to deepen and begin to check in with your body, observing how you're feeling at this moment. And begin to remember the details of the room that you are in. Remember the color of your mat and the color of your coverings, the details of the room, and remember the time of day. Begin to hear the sounds around you and remember the world attached to those sounds. And begin to make small movements with your fingers and your toes, being very kind to your body as you gently externalize. Begin to move and stretch in a way that's right for you, taking your time. You may like to move your head from side to side gently, or even lie on your right side for a few moments. And when it's right for you, again in your own time, there's no rush, but when it's right for you, keeping the eyes closed or downcast, come up gently into a sitting position, aiming to maintain the peaceful state that you've created. And in the comfortable sitting position, we'll gently move the awareness through the body. And as we do this, just compare how you feel now to how you felt at the beginning of the class. So bringing the awareness now to the soles of the feet and gently moving the awareness up through the feet and into the shins and the calves, up into the knees, into the thighs and the buttocks, and up through the hands and the arms, up through the torso, and up through the spine and the back, into the neck, into the face, and also around to the back of the head, the crown of the head, before gently resting the awareness at the eyebrow center. And at this point, visualize a steady candle flame. And together now we'll chant Om 3 times and Om Shanti to conclude our class. Breathing in. Om. 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 Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Hari Om Tat Sat.